and welcome to Tech Talk Live. I am Diana Fulton, one of the District Technology Coordinators for Southside.
And I am Rick Herber for the Northrop family, and this is our Thanksgiving version of Integrated Tech Talk Live.
We are glad to be back. Hopefully you guys got a chance last night to be a part of the Michael Fulton broadcast. I don't know, I got some great takeaways from it. I don't know.
It was awesome. It really was.
Yeah. So with that being said, we just have a couple things that we wanted to review with you today. And if you guys have questions at any time during this discussion, there is a chat feature down in the bottom of your screen that you can just click on and ask your questions. Steve is back in the back and he will address those with us. So that being said, go ahead, Rick.
Thank you, Diana. So we're going to start off by talking about Land School today. We've had some issues with Land School, and there's a couple suggestions that they had given us within their tech support to try out. So I'm going to cover a little bit of that. Just keep in mind that that's going to be an ongoing process for us, and we're taking the next steps to troubleshoot our one-to-one environments where the students carry their laptops using a dynamic class list. So if you can take me over, Steve, to my screen for a second. Typically, and it's kind of a blurry picture, but this is some of the things that we're seeing where our students will show 4 or 5, maybe 6 students on the actual class list itself, where the rest of them, and it's blurry now, but they'll say missing student underneath it. Once again, that's typically tied to our dynamic class at the secondary level. So for elementary folks that are still using a teacher on a channel and the card on a channel, we're not seeing as many problems as that goes. But let me switch over now to the actual Land School Council. And here's where we're going to set a couple of those parameters and switches within the software itself. Once you open your console, if you come up to the Administer tab and select that, you'll see Preferences down here. Select your preferences. And that opens up a series of other window tabs here. We're looking primarily at the Student tab right now. By default, when we rolled out the clients, typically these first 2 boxes under the student thumbnails were checked. We're going to have you uncheck those 2 boxes here. And then once you uncheck those 2 boxes, we want you to make sure that you come down here to the lower right and apply it and then okay it. And that will keep that setting for you. That's just one tab that we're looking at. The other tab that we want to take a look at is the Web Limiting tab. When we select that tab, we'll see that there is a box down here, and typically this one's not checked. So just make sure you check this one where it talks about restricting the IP address, private, incognito, and Microsoft Edge browsing. That helps us when students or kids get onto other web browsers. It allows us to lock those out. Once again, don't forget to apply it and okay it. And then that will save those settings for you. So some of the changes that we have made to our Land School, the client and the server, we just rolled out an update, which everyone should be pretty much up to date with the version there. The tech support also talked about increasing the memory on our server due to the number of clients that we have on there now. So we did that portion as well, did that function. So we're good to go there on that side. We're seeing some freezing yet. So our next step is we'll be working closely with some of our one-to-one schools to actually take a look at some of that network traffic and what's actually taking place there to help out some of those problems there. So that's Land School at a quick update.
Great. And we'll work on getting some instructions put onto the LMS page for you that will basically give an overview of what Rick just talked about. So thanks, Rick. So next thing I want to talk about is a little bit about Twitter and some of the things we're seeing. It's great that you guys are marking us with the ed tech. We're seeing some great things and the shout outs. Just keep in mind though, if you have students or you're using students' pictures either on Twitter or on Facebook or even on YouTube, to keep in mind to make sure that those students have waivers that are signed. And if they don't, make sure to ask your principal. Anything else you want to add about that?
That's just a great idea. Great
Yeah.
best practice using that.
Yep. Next, we want to talk about our AV department a little bit. So we're having some, I would say issues, but there are a lot of things that are coming up, and they're starting to get a backlog of their tickets. So just keep that in mind. But if you're noticing in your buildings that the tickets are lagging, or it's just taking longer than what you need, and it's affecting both your students and your teachers, please reach out to one of us at the district level so that we can help you and kind of expedite that a little bit. The backlog is pretty big, so.
It is, but that says a lot for how we're advancing and adding technology to the classroom.
Yep, absolutely. So you're our eyes and ears. So if there's any way that we can help you to get those things addressed, please let us know.
Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about at the elementary level, we spoke earlier at a prior Tech Talk Live that we were going to collect the student iPads and the teacher iPads that were outside of our K2 environment. We're still planning on doing that at the end of the year. Now's a good time to kind of clean house if you have photos and things like that on the teacher iPads, to actually start moving some of that content over and just preparing for that. Now, we want to add a disclaimer to that we understand that there will be some times that we're still going to need some iPads at those levels. And one example would be when we actually go to the Spiros or some coding opportunities for our kids. We don't want to take opportunities away from folks, but we want to actually take a look at our inventory as a whole and make some adjustments there so we can balance things out. Next up on the list is the Lenovo's for the elementary. We have had some carts that we called hodgepodge together, where there may have been some 6570s, some 650s, or some 255 machines that were all in one cart itself. We actually have enough machines now for all elementaries to be all Lenovo's. So if you see Lenovo's that are in carts that are mixed matched, please contact your tech coordinator, and we'll make arrangements with the network technician to get those replaced and updated like we need to.
Yep. And I got to be honest, this is kind of exciting because we're getting close to being that 1-to-1 in our 5-year plan. We're a little bit ahead of the game. So to hear that we're that close and really almost there within the elementaries, I think that's awesome.
I agree.
Cool. Great. Okay. Next, we want to announce Ignite. We've gotten some feedback, and we're happy to announce that we are going to be hosting an Ignite session again this summer. We don't have dates yet. We don't have times, and we don't have a location, but it's all in the works, and you'll get more info on that as it becomes available. However, we're planting a seed, and we'd love to have teachers start thinking, or even you guys, start thinking about what sessions you would like to see and or maybe even teach.
Exciting.
It is exciting. We have an idea on a keynote. We're just starting to finalize those things. So as soon as that information becomes available, we will make it available to you. We'll probably post it on our LMS page.
Awesome.
All right. The next thing we want to announce is in the spirit of the holiday season, we are going to have 12 days of tech, and you'll be receiving an invitation on that in the next few weeks. It will start December 1st and go through the 12th, but you'll have the whole month of December to respond to what those 12 days are. It's basically going to ask you to do some tools and show us some examples so we can see those things in action. So we're going to have cool prizes. Awesome. One of those might be these lovely Google water bottles, along with some other things. So please participate, or if you have questions about that, let us know. But that information should be coming here shortly.
Awesome. That's cool. So one of the last things that we'd like to add is, we need to actually look at technology in our implementation and how can we make it fun? We don't want to make it a burden on anyone. But as we continue to develop our deep learning, we want to take time to just reflect. It's like, what can we do as a collective group to actually have fun while we're learning? And then we can all learn from one another. No one knows it all, and we understand that. But we just want to make it a great work environment for all folks. So
Absolutely. Makes it easier to come to work.
yeah. So the last thing that we had, if you don't have, do you have any others?
Anybody have any questions? We'll be happy to answer them as best we
No
can.
questions as of now.
Oh, okay.
All
Perfect.
right.
Well, last time we left you with a joke, a knock-knock joke. Well, we're not going to let you down this time. It won't be a knock-knock joke, but we will leave you with a joke. Diana, what did the turkey say to the computer?
Gosh, Rick, what did the turkey say to the computer?
Google, Google. So I would like to add that if you missed Shannon and Matt's presentation yesterday from the Grand Wade Center, it was phenomenal. They're like the Good Afternoon team, like Good Morning America, Good Afternoon team. They work very well together. We want you to take the time to gobble up some of the Google over your break if you get the opportunity. Take a little time, have a little fun with it.
We will make the links available to that webcast again on the LMS page for you under the integratED tab. So be on the lookout for those. In addition, if there's anybody that you know that missed today's sessions, those recordings will also be uploaded probably later this evening on the LMS page and be available for you as well.
Okay. Like to add, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy some time with your families.
Yes, absolutely. And yes, Mr. Lucky, it sounds like Ignite will be in July again.
Nice.
See you later.
Bye-bye.